Hi everyone, Rivka here. Just a quick video regarding something that came up just now from a person who messaged me on Nextdoor. I presume an Orthodox Jewish man who has made some very not so nice comments on Nextdoor publicly. And so I private messaged him and I said, I don't believe we've ever met, which I don't think we have. And I asked him what his problem was because I don't think we should be slandering one another publicly. And I could guess what it was, but he said, you're pretending to be Jewish and you're false and that you pretend to be Jewish and you're not. So I said, well, I am a convert and I converted with my 3 kids and my 4th was born Jewish, and glad I could clear that up. Now he has not responded, but I can imagine he won't accept this answer, or he'll go to something like, show me your paperwork or something like that. So I wanted to address this because this happens a lot with both David and I. And what we're doing. We're accused of not being Jewish, and that we're fakes and that kind of thing. And I wanted to address it because I think I'm beginning to, after years and years and years of going through this, I'm beginning to understand where they're coming from. And you'd think I would have to get this down, but I've been really mulling over it and thinking about it and going, okay, where are these people? Since I've never met the majority of them. Usually they're trolls online or things like on Nextdoor or Facebook or whatever.
David Costello.
So continuing, I got interrupted there with a call, but the concept I was talking about was people coming at us and accusing us of various different things and why this is. And most of these people I don't know. So what I've been really thinking about is what they're actually thinking they're fighting against, what they come off as fighting against, what they're actually fighting against is 2 different things. So from their perspective, they're protecting their religion, right? They're protecting Judaism, they're protecting their people, they're protecting, how they think of me as a person who's trying to steal Jewish souls. And they're protecting themselves and that kind of thing, and they go on attack mode, like you're a Christian and you're this and that, you're trying to steal Jewish souls and that kind of thing. So what they're fighting against is not Yeshua as Messiah. They think they are, but they're not, because the majority of, I'm not gonna say this as 100% everybody, but the majority of people who behave that way have never actually read what Yeshua said. What they're responding to is they're fighting against the institution of Christianity and what it purports itself to say, and they put that institution of Christianity upon us. And so look, they're Christians, they're a church, they're this, and on top of that institution of Christianity is a lot of assumptions, and frankly they've never read what Yeshua said. And it's really when I've approached them, usually online, like I said, when you actually approach them or you respond to them and go, okay, you're upset, I understand you're fighting against, what you're fighting against is not who you think you're fighting against. You're not fighting against Yeshua. You're actually fighting against, and you're angry at Christianity, because Christianity as a whole, historically speaking, has done a lot of bad things to Jews. And so I completely understand why you're upset. But let's actually look at what Yeshua himself said versus taking all the presuppositions and what you think Yeshua said and what Christianity says, and actually look at what Yeshua says. And when you do that, it really, I have found, usually they don't respond. I challenge them and I go, okay, let's put aside you being angry at Christianity. Okay, I get that. I'm not even going to go into the issue of what kind of, if I'm a Jew or not, or whatever. Like, fine, you can say I'm not. I don't care. It's not my beef with you. I know I am before Hashem, and if you don't like it, there's even Jews within Orthodox Judaism who had like 3 different conversions under different rabbis, and no one's happy with them and whatever. So there's issues in Orthodox Judaism with conversion. But setting all that aside, like that's not an issue. Okay, you're upset. What are you upset at? So can you point, and I've asked people this and they don't respond, or they just give some snide snarky comment and don't respond at all, or don't respond at all. So I said, what did Yeshua actually specifically say that makes you so upset? And we can actually have a discussion that's logical and, that kind of thing. And usually those who actually respond will spew some Christian teaching that they've heard, like Jesus made, you can eat whatever you want. He canceled the Torah. And then I point to them and I go, well, no, he actually said, if anyone doesn't know the Torah and tells people, tells Jewish people not to follow the Torah, then that's not a good thing. And they're releasing the kingdom. And he will say, depart from me, I never knew you. And they don't have a relationship with Hashem. They have karas and that kind of thing. So, or that he didn't, what's the context of, like, where did you hear that he taught these things? And they've heard it from pastors, they've heard it from maybe other missionaries that have maybe talked with them, or signs they've seen or whatever. So they have a complete misunderstanding of who Yeshua is. Yeshua is an Orthodox, in modern day terminology, an Orthodox rabbi. He held Orthodox principles. And unfortunately, you have people who will remain unnamed who are out there purporting to teach a Jewish Jesus when they're not. They're just wrapping him up in Christianese language and saying, look, he's a Jew. Like, they just add like he's a Jew part at the end of it, but fundamentally have Christian doctrine at the center of their outreach or whatever. So that's what I like to do. I like to point and go, he was an Orthodox Jew. That's what I like to do, is I point to that. So and this video is going to be on YouTube and Facebook, and I want to invite those who have come at me personally and my husband and what we're doing, or posted on our Facebook, going to our church, blah, 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 actually have a conversation about what Yeshua said and your actual objections, not this general, you're a Christian thing. Like, that way we can actually, because you got to have a frame around a discussion, right? So you got to when you come at someone and say, you're this, you're putting them in a box, right? You're putting them in a certain, this is what you believe, whether you say so or not. Like, you can't have a conversation like that. So if you're not willing to have a conversation, then there's like, if you're just going to be combative and not have an honest conversation, can't talk to you. We're not going to waste our time. There's a lot of Jews and Orthodox Jews who we do talk to, and who are not even, those who do not agree with us, and they talk to us and we have friendly conversation and debate, and we disagree with each other. But like, there's a friendliness there. So for those who are sending us these nasty messages and are too, frankly, lazy to have an actual discussion, we're going to block you. We're not going to have the discussion. For those who follow us in the street and call us missionaries and try to pester our children, how about you actually get some, sechel, and get some, chutzpah, to not just yell and scream like children, or send your children after us, which is really pathetic as parents, and it shows cowardice on your part. Actually come up to us and have a conversation. It's like, you can actually ask, do you believe da 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 da, whatever you're mad about? Okay, fine. You don't even have to agree that we're Jews. I don't really care. It's not my responsibility to convince you of that. But you can at least have an intellectual conversation with somebody. I hope you're adult enough, instead of going around brandishing. Literally, someone was brandishing a weapon about us on social media and saying that we should be hung up on the next tree. And I have literally never spoken with this person, okay? You read an article, you believe the article. Well, that's just bad research, because the majority of the articles written about us are lies. And that's, you look on like just regular news, and a lot of the stuff that mainstream media says is true is not. So like, same standard across the board, don't generally trust what's on the internet. So, and also I think there's a concept with just people being made in the image of Hashem. Doesn't matter if you're Jew or non-Jew, like respecting humanity in general. Like, and if you think that we're stealing Jewish souls or whatever, how about you come tell us and have a conversation about it? And even if you're upset, I don't like, as long as it's respectful. So that's a challenge to everyone who has, sent these nasty messages, or sent their children after us, or egged our car, or those things. And we, yeah. So that's that. So that's my invitation and challenge to those who have this kind of attitude. Have a great day.